SLR Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, I do apologize for taking basically a week to upload a video. The past week has been quite hectic for me and I just haven't gotten to editing. I've gotten to recording, but I haven't had the time to edit. And as you guys know me thus far, I try and put in all the effort possible with my videos because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. And even though I don't have the most fancy laptop and all the most fancy editing programs, I try to do my best with the little that I have. So these episodes have taken a while to edit, but trust me guys, I am super duper excited that we can keep going. And later on in this episode, guys, at the end of the episode, I'm going to be telling you guys something really important that's happening in my life. So please stick around till the ending. Also, please drop a like down below on the video if you haven't done it yet so far. Come on, the support is highly appreciated. But let's head into this episode, guys. It is time for the Canadian Grand Prix of Season 1 of my team. Guys, when it comes to the tire strategy for this weekend, I was really tempted to go softer. I'm sticking with the softer strategy because due to recent memory, the two-stop around the Gilles Villeneuve circuit in Montreal is quicker than the one-stop because the hard tires here are absolute poo-poo. They are absolute poo-poo, like the baboon bottom poo-poo. They're not very good. So also guys, please follow me on my social media platforms. Share this video with your friends. Tag me in the post or the story, and I will give you a shout out on social media as well as in a future video. Links in the description down below. Guys, looking at the performance chart, you've got Mercedes leading the way from Ferrari P2, Red Bull are in P3, Racing Points are now in P4 with McLaren P5, Alfa Romeo have made strides now in P6. Then you've got Renault, myself and AlphaTauri squabbling over 7th to 10th position, and then you've still got Williams bringing up the rear end of the field. Now guys, heading into this episode, I was really excited. You guys know in the past this was my favorite circuit on the F1 calendar until Baku and Mexico came along. That was a little bit of a big moment, guys. I think I actually nipped the wall here. Let's quickly look. The Wall of Champions, what's my name? Ooh, the right rear tire just had a little bit of a moment with the Wall of Champions. So yeah, we head on to further in practice. I think this was actually practice 3 if I'm not mistaken, guys. And as you guys can see, I absolutely just sent it through the Wall of Champions. And the Wall of Champions called its big brother and said, please take him out. So that was not meant. And then we also had this moment. Yeah, you guys can see I'm pushing it a little bit hard. I'm pushing it a little bit too hard, to be quite honest. But guys, this weekend, one of my favorite tracks on the F1 calendar, a track that is known for having a lot of corner cuts, but you know, you're gonna have to face it and we're gonna have to get over those hurdles. So without further ado, for the first time in a week, let's go straight to qualifying. Oh yeah. A beautiful facility here in Montreal to have the Canadian Grand Prix. No better place whatsoever. You guys can see you're heading towards the end of our Q1 session. We have a little bit of a moment there once again through the final chicane, having a little bit of an intimate moment there with the Wall of Champions. Well, nearly an intimate moment. We get ourselves through in P10. Our teammate, unfortunately, Mr. Jack Aitken, is out in Q1, along with the 2 Haas cars, the 2 Williams, and I think one of the Alfa Romeos. Heading into the end of our first lap in Q3, we open up DRS on the main straight, heading towards the line. We hug the inside of the track. We come across the line, and it's a 1 minute 9.119. By the end of the session, it's only good enough for P12, so we still have to go out for yet another run, and luckily, we will have one fresh set for Q3 thanks to me using a scrubbed set for our first lap. The big moment there coming out of the final chicane, we cross the line, and it's going to be woo-wee! P10, we scrape through on our booty skin, but it is P10. Out of Q2 is Perez, Gasly, Sebastian Vettel is out. Jeez Louise, one of the Ferraris has said sayonara. That is not the best news for Mr. Vettel. But in any case, guys, let's head into Q3. As you guys can see here, through this middle sector part, The sector where I usually am a lot worse than the AI. As you guys can see, I break my front wing, but that middle sector just doesn't gel with me, especially that left-right chicane, because it's so hard to get the power down going through there.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
To me, quite honestly, it's easier to lose the rear end there than at the hairpin. So, but let's go around this beautiful facility in Canada for a lap of the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. First corner, clip the curb on the inside, go into the second corner hairpin, hug the inside and get the power down as early as possible as you come out through this next right-left chicane. Clip the curbs on both the inside and the outside. Ooh, I have a little bit of a kiss there on the wall, but nothing too major. Through the left-right, into the left-right chicane here. Very tight, just squeeze the power slowly but surely as you come out of the corner. Open up DRS as you blast down this little back straight. It's kind of a little bit of a curve, but you know, into the next right-left chicane. Also, just like Monza, it's chicane heaven here at Montreal. You gate onto that curb on the outside. Be careful not to get a track invalidation there for running a little bit too aggressive. Into the hairpin where Robert Kubica had a phenomenal crash here. Luckily, he survived that. Through the hairpin, now onto the backstretch where you can get over 330 kilometers an hour. Open up the DRS as we head down towards the final chicane where the Wall of Champions is waiting to claim another victim. We will not be one of those victims here today. Clip with the inside curbs, run it onto the outside. A little bit of a quick kick-off oversteer there, but we get ourselves there up into P!
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Hamilton, Bottas, and Charles Leclerc. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Not too bad of a quali session, guys. P9, obviously this is still clearly not a backmarker car, but according to the game it still is. So we are clearly outdriving this car, and I am seriously considering getting the game up to 108 AI if this weekend goes like I think it will. But guys, without further ado, let's head straight to the Canadian Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at a fiercely competitive circuit, where pole position can often be decided by less than a tenth of a second. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on a circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. So, let's briefly discuss Lewis Hamilton. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Albon, Lance Stroll and Sainz, Norris, Parker, Ricciardo and Sergio Perez, Hamilton, Gasly, Sebastian Vettel and Raikkonen, Ocon, Kvyat, Antonio Giovinazzi and Roman Grosjean. Aitken, Latifi, Russell and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Guys, you guys know you want to hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to click that bell to never miss a future video. Guys, it's gonna be a wet one. Yeah, look, I did compromise my setup in quali and went for one higher click of downforce on the front and rear wing. I don't know, I don't think it's gonna help us here in the rain around Canada, but we'll see what happens. We're gonna end in the dry. Anything and everything can happen. Jam with me. It feels so good to be commentating again. Guys, are you ready for the Canadian GP? We head to 5 red lights and it's go, go, go for a very wet Canadian Grand Prix. Bottas and Charles Leclerc on the front row, followed by the 2 Red Bulls. It's a fantastic start there from Bottas as he jumps ahead of Leclerc. Even before we get to the first quarter, there's a squabble between myself and one of the McLarens in the background. I think that's Norris. Norris is round. We also jump the racing point of Lance Stroll as we have the 2 Red Bulls side by side with one another. Here we go. Into the next corner. It is Albon who's going to get the best of Verstappen as we nearly run into the back of Max Verstappen there as he has a little bit of a braking moment there to duck out of the move with his teammate. It is a crazy one indeed here around the Sugar Gilles Villeneuve. Let's jump back to our start guides on the POV of Lando Norris. You guys see we just get the traction coming out off of the line really much better than the AI. Heading into the first quarter, it's 3-1 between myself, Stroll and Norris, and there's just no space for 3 cars there. And unfortunately, Norris came out the worst in that little exchange. He did have the right to stay in for the move, but I think he should have backed out. But Rubbing's Racing, you guys, I realize now how close that was. And also, because it's wet, you can barely see anything if you follow another car. You guys are on the halo now. Remember, I drive in cockpit view for the best possible immersion. Sorry, I didn't pronounce that properly the first time. For the best possible immersion. So you guys can imagine, with all the spray that the cars ahead of us are kicking up, it wasn't the easiest thing to see. So the fact that I didn't run into the rear of Verstappen is a little bit of a miracle on its own. In any case, let's jump back to the leaders. Bottas is leading the way from the Maranello red Ferrari in P2. Then you've got the 2 Red Bulls in P3 and 4 in the form of Albon and Verstappen. Myself is up into P5 from P8 on the grid thanks to a penalty at the start of the Grand Prix. I think it was actually Lewis Hamilton who had a penalty, guys, so he is also going to be fighting himself back in this Grand Prix. And guys, with overtaking already being a problem on the F1 2020 game, now that DRS has... Did you guys see me drift through the final corner there? Holy moly. In any case, with overtaking already being so difficult on F1 2020 and now DRS being disabled thanks to the wet weather, overtaking is not going to be an easy task. But you guys, I've got a little bit of a thing here. Do you guys see that I am busy catching Max Verstappen in his Red Bull? And we are about to go for a move for P4 into the first quarter, later to the brakes. We have a little bit more confidence on the brakes. It's very close between myself and Max. Max is on the inside. He pinches me towards the outside. Well, doesn't pinch me. He forces me to the outside as I pinch him to the inside. But that is us up into P4 of the Canadian GP. Guys, where's this pace coming from? I know I mentioned just before the race started that I did go for higher wings. That means I've got more downforce. For those of you guys that don't know what that means, a higher wing setup means that the car has more downforce at speed. So the car is a little bit easier to control through the corners. But too much downforce, it holds you back in a straight line like Canada has a lot of them. So I compromised a bit for the middle sector where I am bad at so that I can gain a little bit more time. But clearly, it was the way to go due to the wet weather because I'm pushing Albon through the final chicane. I literally pushed him there. I am thankful that I kept my front wing. Heading into the first corner, we do another one of the inside. A lot more confidence on the brakes as we shove Albon all the way to the outside, and we have the inside for the next corner. And I'm not sure if you guys can realize, but we have just taken the podium position away from Red Bull. Oh my soul, guys, where's this pace coming from? Guys, I didn't lower the difficulty or nothing. I promise, look at that. I literally pushed Albon through the final chicane. And I know I've said that like 3 times already, but that is how slow they were through the final chicane. I think these guys almost, they banked on the fact that the rain would not come on Sunday, and it is biting them in their rear end because Canada usually is a low downforce setup. Not Monza low, but I would say around about Spa low. You can run 3, 4, 5, 6 wings. You need rear instability, but I know a lot of guys that run majorly low wings here around Canada, so it's not the worst thing in the... Yay! What happened there? Okay, clearly the AlphaTauri is out of the race. I'm not sure who it is, whether it's Gasly or Kvyat. But clearly there's smoke pouring from the rear of the car, and Ocon just understeers into him. Okay, well, we've got a safety car, but Ocon literally just understeered into the AlphaTauri. So that is 2 cars out of the GP. It is the AlphaTauri of Kvyat, guys. There we go. Into the side of the AlphaTauri goes Ocon, and that is Ocon and Kvyat's race over and done with. And guys, as soon as the safety car was triggered, I knew immediately all these guys were going to dive it into the pit lane, because one of the strategies was a 3-stop using all 3 sets of intermediate tires. Now, when this pit stop commenced, the rain was set to ease up with about 10 minutes still to go. So we still needed to go onto the intermediate tires. There's no way to get around that. But this is going to make, for some of us, the race a lot easier. As you guys can see, I'm still going to come out in P3. Okay, sorry, Jeff just said there, release. It's a 3-second pit stop, not the quickest pit stop in the world.
Stop today. 1 stop left in our strategy.
Yes, Jeff, you are correct. That is 1 stop left, and we will go... Jeff, can you keep quiet now? Thank you. And we will be going on to the slicks for that stop, most probably, guys. But guys, let's quickly run through the top 10. You've got Bottas leading the way from Charles Leclerc in P2. Then Kimi Räikkönen has not come into the pit lane. He is now occupying P3. Myself P4. Lance Stroll P5. P6 it is Alex Albon. Now, come on, can you please? I want to see who's in P7. Come on. P7, it seems to be the McLaren of Lando Norris. No, it can't be Norris. Norris has got a broken front wing. So that would be Sainz. So Albon P6, Sainz is in P7. Then in P8, come on, keep going. You've got the 1 remaining AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly. Then Perez is in P9. And P10, it is the 2nd Red Bull of Verstappen. So guys, Red Bull are really having a bad race here today at Canada. But as you guys can see at the end of the next lap, the safety car is coming in, and we're going to go back to green flag racing pretty soon. Raikkonen is in P3. Now guys, it's clear that I've got the pace at this stage of the GP. At this stage, I've got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as far as I can remember, but I'm sure I had. So the quicker I got past Kimi, the bigger opportunity I would have to latch onto the back of Bottas and Leclerc. And if I could stick with them, not even overtake them, if I could stick with them, I'm basically securing myself another podium in my team's rookie season. We are back to green flag racing, and it is myself, the E10 boosted racing car versus the Alfa Romeo. Here we go to the inside of the kink, the outside for the first corner. There is nothing that Raikkonen can do about it on those old sets of intermediate tires, and we are up into P3. We jump all the way to lap 15, guys, and guys, we've got a little bit more pace than we thought. Leclerc in P2. Here we go, guys. We might be able to make a move here for P2 on Leclerc. As we nearly run into the back of Leclerc, we are so much more confident on the brakes than the Ferrari driver at this stage. Here we go. Up for the next part. Leclerc is going to defend the outside. He doesn't even see us coming. That's a dive bomb. What a move. What a move! We just sent it there on Charles Leclerc, and we are up into P2 of the Canadian GP. Guys, those 2 clicks of front wing, 1 on each, 1 in the front, 1 in the back, has made such a big difference here around Canada. We've got so much more confidence on the brakes through mid-corner, corner exit, and we've got the engine behind us to stick with these bigger guns. And guys, this is absolutely phenomenal. Do we have the pace within us to go catch Bottas? Look how beautiful that was. No contact, clean move on the inside, playing a bit with the track limits there, but we still kept it honest and still kept it within the rules. And what a move. As you guys can see now, the rain is starting to dissipate, but there's still a lot of spray even on the racing line, guys. It's not yet time for slicks, but the rain has greeted us and it's on its way out. As you guys can see, also slightly, if you look up top, the clouds are slowly but surely starting to open up. Kimi Räikkönen is going on to a 2nd set of inters. I think he has basically lost himself, he has cost himself a big amount of points thanks to staying out under safety car. But he probably didn't want to double stack with his teammate Antonio Giovinazzi. You guys can see here now, we are right behind the Black Panther Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas as we are now heading towards the final chicane. Here we go. Right behind Bottas. Will we go for the move up into the chicane? Yes, we go. We do. Up the inside, outside for the second part. We squeeze Bottas onto the apex. Nothing that Valtteri can do. And now he's under pressure from Leclerc in P3. Here we go into the first quarter. Leclerc drives right around the outside of Bottas. And guys, we are in the lead of the Canadian GP. How is this even possible? This car on the chart is what, 10th best? It's basically second last. How does that work? No. Guys, it's time for slick tires. Look at my rears. Oh, great googly moogly. 81 and 78%. You guys can see that I stretched these tires and refused to pit again. It is now time for the slicks. We're going on to the mediums to run to the end of the GP. It is now crunch time.
Exit now.
Okay, guys. Remember now, yes, I was quicker in the wet, but I'm going to be massively slower than these guys in the dry. I wait for a compromised dry setup. It's still a dry setup, but it's slower than what these guys are running. And I repeat, I'm still a back marker. I'm not even a midfield team when it comes to the performance charts. I am pulling a Max Verstappen, and I am out driving this car to the utmost extent. Look, guys, we are right behind Verstappen, if I'm not mistaken. Some of these guys have opted to stay out an extra lap on the intermediates because DRS has not yet been activated. So some of these teams still believe that it is wet enough to stay out on the intermediates. But you guys can clearly see the grip difference between the slicks and the inters. It is definitely time to get onto the slick tires, and we are absolutely going to school the Red Bull of Verstappen.
Moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
Jeff, shush. We school Verstappen up the inside of the Montreal hairpin, and that is us now up into P7. And with everybody ahead, Leclerc, Bottas, all these guys diving into the pit lane to strap on a set of slick tires. I think I've gapped them by round about 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds if I'm lucky, guys, just for taking the risk and coming in 1 lap earlier than these guys. We have got the perfect strategy running here. Look at this. Perez still thinks he's able to stay out on the enters, and we just go up his inside as if he's napping. We honestly just caught him napping there. And there you guys can see Leclerc in the background. He is now going to get held up by the Red Bull and the Racing Point as he is forced to fall in behind Verstappen due to Verstappen just pipping him at the pit lane exit. I don't understand what Red Bull and Racing Point's idea is with Perez and Verstappen, but they are just going to hold up the leaders now. This is still for position, guys. And you guys can see DRS now has been enabled. And here we go, Leclerc around the outside of Verstappen. There is nothing that Verstappen is going to be able to do. And I'm sure Leclerc is going to do exactly the same to Perez. And Bottas will do the same to both of them. But as you guys can see now, with everybody making their pit stops, we are leading the way in our rookie season as a driver. Ooh. Okay, you guys can see I'm really pushing hard because I'm trying to keep the gap to the Ferrari and the Mercedes, but I'm pushing a bit too hard. But what I was busy saying, we are leading a Grand Prix for not just me as a driver, but for my team being rookies in Formula 1. We are leading the Canadian Grand Prix, and there's not too far to go. Bottas Leclerc P2, Bottas P3. You've got the Racing Point of Stroll P4, Albon P5, P6 is Sainz, P7 is Sergio Perez now after him and Verstappen made their pit stops. Verstappen is down in P8. Not a good day for Red Bull in the office whatsoever. P9 is Roman Grosjean for Haas. Well done. And P10 is Nicholas Latifi for Williams? Where did Grosjean and Latifi come from? Okay, they are clearly pushing stupidly hard. All their strategies have just worked out perfectly for them. We jump onto the one remaining AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly as he is trying to take that final points paying position away from Nicholas Latifi. Up the inside of the final chicane, he's got the outside for the second part, but that is going to be a clean and easy overtake for Gasly, and he is now into the points, into P10. The number 10 car into P10. I think that's quite nice. We jump now on board with Alex Albon as he is trying to overtake the Racing Point of Stroll into the first quarter much tighter. Oh no, guys, it's actually Verstappen on Perez, excuse me. Around the outside, and there goes Verstappen on Sergio Perez. Just a little bit further up the road, guys, we jump on board with Charles Leclerc as he has caught up to the rear end of me, and dragging with him is Valtteri. Well, he has dragged Valtteri Bottas with him. Yeesh, that was close between myself and Leclerc there. But we head now towards the hairpin, guys. Look how Bottas is now pressuring Leclerc after I pinched Leclerc there through the middle sector chicane. into the hairpin. Now going down the back straight, these guys are going to have DRS and overtake to help them, but they couldn't get anything done on that part of the lap, guys. We go one lap later. I think this is actually lap 34 of 35, guys. Less than 2 laps to go in this Canadian GP, and Charles Leclerc just schools me up the inside and takes back the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Did he have it at that stage? I think Bottas was leading the whole way, to be quite honest. Not the point. Leclerc takes the lead of the Canadian GP. Now through the hairpin, guys. This is the final 2 laps. I can't let this slide now. I need to try and do everything in my power to get back onto the rear of Leclerc. Open up DRS. Overtake is engaged. Bottas is just getting left behind us. I'm doing everything I can to get underneath the gearbox of this Ferrari. Here we go. Through the final chicane. Push, come on. Push, push, push. Let's go. It's turbo boosted racing. I'm sure my engineers their hands are in their hair. We go up the inside of Leclerc. It's a little bit late onto the brakes. We nearly don't make the corner.
Oh my god, did you see the move? Did I go for it? Did I send it? Or didn't send it?
Yeah, you
send it!
Guys, what a move there. We sent it up the inside of Charles Leclerc, and we are back into the lead of the Canadian GP as we have started the final lap of this race. A quick rewind back to see Alex Albon take P4 away from Stroll, as also Carlos Sainz is trying to get himself into this fight. But we sent it up the inside. What a move there. What a move. Guys, look, we have pulled away. Bottas has, by some sort of manner, gotten past Leclerc, and now the Mercedes is trying to have a bite at my turbo boosted racing car. Here we go through the chicane. It's a very weird name trying to pronounce my team's name, but still, we'll have to do it. Into the hairpin. Look how close the Mercedes is. But guys, I've saved up all the ERS possible, as well as a bit of fuel. Look how we launch out of the hairpin. Look at that, the car just sees, and we, oh guys, I can't believe this. Rookie season, this is not happening. This is not happening. What have we just accomplished?
You've done it!
Yes! 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 Last time, it must feel pretty good today.
You are done right, Tommaso! Yes! Vamos, tío! Oh!
Vamos!
Tom, do you know what that was? That was a smooth operator! Smooth operation!
Carlos, check the radio. We seem to have picked up some dodgy music channel again.
Na, 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 na. That's better?
Maybe.
That's it then for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' Table. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
That's got to be the Flying Finn. Wait, how many Flying Fins have we had now? Anyway, I'm talking about Bottas this time. Just great raw speed. And a good job in traffic as well. I know that's at odds with the official decision, but I think they deserve some recognition on a day where both of these drivers are at the top of their game.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win? You were cutting your way through the field during the race. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they? Appreciate your time.
Guys, what a way to get back on track with YouTube. Oh my goodness, we took the win. We took the win. This is still not settled in, guys. This is still not, I still don't believe this. How in the 10th, with the car that's supposed to be 10th on the performance chart on the grid, just won the Canadian GP. Guys, we did a Vettel 2008 so hard. For those of you guys that don't know, back in 2008, Vettel was still driving for Toro Rosso at that stage. I'm not sure whether it was Toro Rosso or Red Bull, but I think it was still in the junior team. And at the 2008 Italian Grand Prix, it was a full wet weekend. Vettel did an absolute miracle drive and won for Toro Rosso for the first time in their history. And for those of you guys that also don't know, Alpha Tauri, the blue and white cars, those are basically the newly named Toro Rossos. Vettel did an absolutely amazing job and he won in a back marker car. The Toro Rosso that year was absolutely terrible. He won in a back marker car. And we have just done the same in almost similar conditions. I can't believe it. I'm speechless. I have driven myself speechless. We are splitting the Red Bulls in the championship, in the drivers' championship, and we are 4th in the constructors' championship. This also feels like Haas's main season in Formula 1, where they actually did very well for their first season. I think they came 5th in the constructors, and both of their drivers were, I think they were 9th and 12th. I can't remember where Grosjean and Magnussen were, but it wasn't Grosjean and Magnussen, it was Grosjean and somebody else. I think it was Jean-Eric Verne, if I'm not mistaken, but it doesn't matter. If they had a fantastic first season, and we are so far doing the same. Despite that first corner contact with Norris, we are owning this, guys. And oh my goodness. Guys, I know at the beginning of the episode, I said I was going to tell you guys something that happened to me personally recently. I will do that the next episode because we do not have enough time left. We have won our first Grand Prix in my team and it's still in our first season. It's just gonna get better from here. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end, guys. Guys, if that hasn't earned your like, I honestly don't know what will. Please drop a like down below on the video. It's only gonna take you 2 seconds and it helps me out so much. Guys, please follow me on social media. When you follow me, share this video with your friends. Tag me in the post or the story and I will give you a shout out on social media as well as here on YouTube. And guys, if you don't have a YouTube channel, no worries. I do social media shout out as well. If you just want your social media page shouted out, I will do that with the utmost love. So please share. Links in the description down below. And guys, finally, if you haven't done it yet, and this race is not proof enough to do it, what are you doing? What is going on in your head? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to click that bell to turn on your notifications to never miss a future epic episode like this. It's been amazing, guys. Love you guys, and I'll see y'all next episode. Cheers!